everyone. My name is Nicole Pringle, and I'm the president of Gullah Business of Charleston. And I have the vice president here, Tiffany Savage.
Hello.
And we have another exciting feature right here today. I'm so excited about this. We have former NFL player and entrepreneur Reggie Kelly here, and we're going to talk all about his brand, Kyvan. I'm so excited. Thank you for coming on.
Ladies, I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk football plus food. It's going to equal so much fun.
Oh, that's a combination right there. That's a combo. Who doesn't like that, right? Food and football. So I just wanted to know, where should we start? Should we start with football?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Football it's always been a passion of mine. Even when I was a little kid growing up in the Mississippi heat, I used to emulate all of my heroes, especially on Sundays after church. My neighborhood friends and I would gather into somebody's backyard, right? And we would imitate our heroes, whether it was Walter Payton, Joe Montana, Lawrence Taylor, all the NFL greats, in hopes that one day we would be, in the gridiron, in the spotlight, doing the same things that our heroes did. And lo and behold, I'm grateful to the good Lord. I was able to work extremely hard and to achieve a childhood dream of playing 13 seasons in the NFL, 13 two short seasons. Believe
Wow.
because I still miss the game. Miss it so much, ladies, that over the past 7 to 8 years, I've been coaching rec football and also high school football, just giving back to the kids, trying to teach them life through sports and an opportunity to still continue to fulfill my passion of football. It just never leaves, ladies. It never leaves.
So did you start, like, I guess when you start playing football, did you do like Pee Wee football?
I didn't, I'm a little bit different than most guys. Like a lot of guys I know, they did start in like the Pee Wee League and when they was really, really young. But I didn't know if I would even play football, to be quite honest with you. I've always loved sports, but didn't know I would actively play in organized sports. And so it wasn't until my ninth grade year, believe it or not, was my first time playing, organized sports at my high school. And I was very raw, very green, didn't really understand the game. Understood how to catch a pass, but didn't understand all the techniques that goes with catching the passes and making tackles. And once, the game kind of slowed down and I got an understanding of what football was really all about, the X's and O's, then I began to flourish. So now I was kind of like a late bloomer. When the scouts recruited me, they said I had a lot of upside, meaning there's a lot of growth that I had to get to, and they were willing to sacrifice to get me there to help prune me to be the player that they thought I could be. And I'm grateful for those coaches as well.
Wow. And how was it going to the NFL?
It was a dream come true. It was definitely a dream come true. Coming from Mississippi, we've had some greats like Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver to ever play the game of football. He was raised just right up the street from where my hometown is. And you have like Walter Payton, from Mississippi as well. So we've had some really great Mississippians to play NFL football, and I was hoping my name would be in that number. And for me to live out my childhood dream to do something that I've always wanted to do, sometimes I had to pinch myself, ladies. Sometimes I just had to pinch myself to say, I'm doing this for a living, but really I would do it for free because it's just something that I've always been passionate about. And I've noticed that about anything that you do, if you're really passionate about it, sure, they would pay you great money to be a pro and do things the right way. But to be quite honest with you, when you're passionate about it, this really doesn't seem like work at all. And so I've been extremely blessed to do a couple of things that I'm really, really passionate about, things that I really like. Football is one of them. And of course, food is the other.
So, how was your transition from football to all of a sudden you're carrying this brand now, Kyvan? Because I'm interested how you transition from one thing to another.
Yeah.
Because that salsa is amazing, and we're gonna get into all that.
Well, I appreciate, I like to say that I had a smooth transition from the gridiron to the cast iron, ladies. And so I've absolutely enjoyed the transition, and it was a smooth transition. I'll be honest with you, I've heard a lot of stories about some of my NFL peers and some professional athletes. They have a tough time transitioning from the game of football, from the game of basketball, whatever the sports may be in professional athletics. Then when they transition to regular life, meaning They don't have a schedule. They don't have a routine that a coach is telling them you have to be at point A, point B, point C. When you don't have those models in front of you, life really hits. Now, what are you going to do? And so sometimes it can be a struggle, for athletes once they leave that particular model of playing in the NFL or any kind of professional sports. But for me, when I first came in as a rookie, I had some of the older guys to take me underneath their wings. They always called me old man. They said I had an old soul anyway, even when I was a rookie coming into the NFL. But they took me under their wings. They taught me the ropes. They showed great patience towards me. And a lot of veterans, they showed me the importance of being a pro, not only on the football field, but also off the football field. They taught me to prepare for life, right? Because it's going to hit in some shape, form, or fashion. It may hit quicker than you think, meaning some players, they get injured. And next thing you know, their careers come to an end. Then what? So you have some things that happen that you're not prepared for. But if you are prepared for it, when you do leave whatever sport you're in, you can have a smooth transition because of that proper preparation. So I had a lot of older guys that prepared me for life on the field, but also prepared me for life off the field, so that once I did, hang up the cleats, so to speak, I was on and rolling to the next thing, which was food. And so it wasn't a hard transition at all. It's been extremely smooth. It was a lot of work, just like it was in football, but football prepared me for this, prepared me to be detailed, do the little things right. And by me doing that, it helped me to be successful on the football field. But I use those same concepts here in the food industry, and it still works with that as well.
That's amazing that you were able to like fulfill your childhood dream or, to play pro. I have a cousin, he played for like in the NFL for a couple of seasons. But just to see that childhood dream and walk it out, that's truly amazing. So I just want to ask you too before we get too far from football, and I should ask you before, who were some greats that you play with, like that just blew your mind? Like you had to really pinch yourself to say, "Hey, I'm playing with this person. I'm playing against this team with this great right here."
Yeah, well, first I had to number one talk about one of my teammates, Michael Vick. He was crazy.
Oh,
He was crazy,
mhm,
ridiculous. He was a talent that I don't think we'll ever see grace the football field again. Sure, you have some great players, Lamar Jackson. You have great quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, guys who are dual threat quarterbacks. But Mike was something different. It was something different about him. And when you're actually out there on the football field playing, the coaches always tell you play through the whistle, meaning in every play you have to make sure that you're hustling full speed and you make sure that you're giving it your best. I must admit, ladies, on some of the plays when Mike Vick was out there on the football field, I was doing more watching than actually playing. Because sometimes I would stop blocking or stop running my route and just to see what Mike was going to do next. Because he amazed the crowd. He amazed us as teammates. He electrified the city of Atlanta and the NFL as well. And he's a treat that I don't know if his talent level can ever be duplicated. So he's by far the best talent that I've ever been around. But I've also been around some guys who are very mouthy and comical and just keep you laughing like a Chad Ochocinco. He was one of the coolest teammates I've ever been around. Carson Palmer was as cool as a cucumber. I'm the number one draft pick who played with me with the Cincinnati Bengals. I played with the original Dirty Bird, Jamal Anderson, those guys as well. But if you want to be intimidated and play against some guys who could really, really bring the heat, Ray Lewis would have to be the very best defender uh,
mhm.
this game of football has ever seen. Ferocious, fast, strong, extremely smart. And because of it, that's why he played as long as he played. A lot of people, ladies, don't understand, like, in football, everybody's strong, right? Everybody's fast, everybody's quick, everybody's athletic, but it's the ones who are extremely smart. They are students of the game. They know what you're doing before you know what you're doing. They understand all the ins and outs of football, and because of their smarts, their mental capacity to absorb information and make adjustments extremely fast, those are the ones who play long, extensive years in the NFL or any sport. And that's why Ray Lewis had such a great career that he's had a Hall of Fame career And that's why
Mhm.
he's noticed being one of the best linebackers, well, the best linebacker to ever play the game of football.
I love Ray Lewis, by the way. That's like I've always been a fan. Always been a fan. I have to say that.
I know
Um,
we're talking about food today, but let me ask you ladies a question. Do y'all have a favorite team as far as football team in the NFL?
I don't.
look, I always root for the Eagles. I'm gonna be honest. I like the Eagles and I like the Ravens.
All right.
Always rooted for them.
They got two really good
So
quarterbacks too. Two really
yeah,
good.
yes. And I love Jerry Rice. I've
Oh,
always watched, when he was playing games, I was like, okay, we're gonna look at the 49ers. We're gonna look at them a little bit. So we was with them, but yeah, I would say that much. Here we have like I'm from North Carolina, so you may have people with the Panthers, but believe it or not, you have a lot of Cowboy fans around here.
Cowboy fans everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Dreaded Cowboy fans. Believe it or not,
I'm
my
just saying, you can't mention nothing. They come for you.
They will. I know that much.
Come
dad,
for you. These Cowboy fans are ruthless. It's like
and they never win nothing. Just never win nothing. Still ruthless. I ain't
they
won
are
it.
ruthless. I'm telling you, I had someone nice. I was, you know how you work in a workspace and people are just quiet or timid. And one day we were talking about football, and I didn't make the mistake, but somebody else did. They were like, "Oh, well, but let's talk about them Cowboys." Next thing I know, they came for the throat. I was like, "This is the same person."
It's
So,
fine. It's
I
fine.
seen that happen in real time. We were all at a party and everybody was talking and the music was going, and somebody said, "How about those Cowboys?" And it was like everybody stopped talking, the music stopped. I was like, "Uh-oh, we need to get out of here." So I'm like, I don't know no teams. I'm just, you
Yeah,
know, neutral. I wanted to know how you came up with the name Kyvan.
oh, that's a great question. And to be honest with you, guys do a great job actually pronouncing it correctly. But it's basically a name that my wife and we decided to, we wanted to leave a great legacy behind to our kids, right? And I think that
mm,
parents dream. That's our obligation. We want to be able to hand the baton, to our kids, and so they could take it, much further than we could. And so it's our goal as parents to make sure that we put our kids in the best possible position so they can do that and leave a great legacy behind, a tangible legacy behind, whether that be generational wealth, owning businesses, establishing their own opportunities, preparing them for entrepreneurship, giving them great financial literacy, whatever it takes to give them an edge, so that they can take the baton as well and be effective. I always tell my kids it's important to lead. We need leaders out there, and leadership is not always the most popular thing to do, but it's definitely the right thing to do. And when you have great leaders, people will follow. And I encourage my kids to lead, and I want them to be leaders in whatever they do. And so my wife and we want to do a great job of properly preparing them, not spoon feeding them, not babying
mhm,
them, but prepare them for life because our kids need that, especially this generation. Think about Gen Z and Generation Alpha; they need that type of guidance from our generation, Generation X, baby boomers, the whole nine.
mhm,
And so one of the things my wife and I are trying to do is teach our kids about, being your own boss, being entrepreneurs. And so we decided to name our food company after them. And of course, me being a football player, I said, well, just name this company Reggie Kelly's. Here we go again, Reggie Kelly. How simple. Name it 82, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I get them thinking about my football jersey number. And of course, you have to get a woman's touch, right, ladies? There's nothing like a woman's touch. So my wife said, well, babe, listen, we always talk about our kids leading. We always talk about leaving them a legacy and preparing them for great things. Why not name our business after our kids, after our babies?
mhm,
Who came on like that is an absolutely great idea, baby. So what we did, my daughter, her name is Kyla. We took the KY from her name. My son's name is Kyvan. Took the VAN from his name, combined the two to come up with Kyvan. And again, we just like any parent, right? We want to leave the right legacy behind for our kids. And so our parents with the limited resources that they had. Our parents worked their butts off to create
Mm.
better living for us. And they did whatever it took to sacrifice for us because they wanted what's best for us. And so we think it's more than fitting that we owe that same type of thing to our kids, to give them nothing but the best, to work our butts off, to teaching them nothing but the best, and to teach them, that hard work pays off, that entitlement is overrated.
Mm.
If you want something in life, you need to work for it. And so we want to put them in position to work for things and to understand the value of hard work and to understand the value of a dollar. So that's how we came up with our business name, Kyvan Foods. And if our kids don't want to work the business, we don't have a problem with that. But at least we want to create some options for them so that they can take the baton and take it much further than we could have ever done.
So when was the day that you realized that you had a product that you could actually brand?
Uh,
When did that light bulb just went on? This is
you
good.
know, it's funny, when I was playing in the NFL with the Cincinnati Bengals, my wife and I, we used to throw free football camps for the kids in my hometown of Aberdeen. We love giving back to the community. We love giving back to the elderly, and we love giving back to kids. We love giving back to the elderly, right? Because sometimes our senior citizens are forgotten. Let's just be real. And some
Mhm.
they're overlooked. But man, they have so much wisdom and they've had so much experience that they can share with us if we just would sit down and just listen. And I always want the elderly to know that they're valuable and that we love and we appreciate everything that they've given to us into our society. So that's near and dear to my wife and I, to my heart as well. But we also like giving back to kids, right? Kids are very impressionable and we have to impact our kids to teach them how to do things the right way. And so my wife and I decided, well, what's the way that we can give back to kids where kids know me? And then also where kids will be excited about doing some things that I like to do, but also making it nice and fun for them as well. And we thought, well, what better platform than just having a football camp where they can go out and do football drills, catch passes, we can feed them, give them football gear, have some of my teammates to come down and give them some inspirational words. And then all, just jab them here and there with just inspiration, here and there, just subtle things we can do, kind of like just get in their minds and teach them the value of hard work and the value of being productive leaders. And so when we did that football camp, that was my only goal, right? Just to teach the kids the importance of working their butts off and teach them the importance of being great leaders. Well, ladies, after the football camp was over, and for that matter, after any event in Mississippi, oh, you're gonna have some good food, right?
Yeah.
And so my family and my wife's family cooked for all the volunteers. And I tell you, some of my teammates, they couldn't stop raving about our family recipes. Some of my teammates had never really eaten good down south, down home country food, soul food,
Mhm.
kind of food that you just stick your foot in, not literally like this, but you just stick your foot in there,
Mhm.
just burn. And they weren't accustomed to that. And it got to the point, I remember one of my teammates' wife, she called my wife and said, you know what, y'all need to do something with these recipes. You hear that all the time coming from where I'm from. Y'all need to do something with recipes. You need to do something with these food items. But I'm like, listen, I don't know anything about the food industry. Don't really want to learn about the food industry. All I do want to consume the food products from the food industry, but I definitely don't want to work in the food industry. Because at that time, ladies, I had made it up in my mind that I was going to work in the NFL front office. I had talked to some NFL executives. My head coach, who was Marvin Lewis with the Cincinnati Bengals at the time, thought it was a great idea as far as for representation matters that I, being a black man and a guy who does things the right way, in his opinion, that I need to be in the forefront, being an advocate and leading for the players and also for the NFL. And so that's what I did. Took a trip up to the corporate office in New York to meet with some executives, the NFL league office, that is, and I thought that was the direction I was going to go. But when my teammate's wife called my wife, and ladies, you know how y'all do. Wife came up to me, she gave me the old dreaded arm rub, and I said, "Oh my goodness, I'm in trouble." And she said, "Well, baby, you've done football, this and that, and we've always wanted to do something together. Now, why not just give it a old try?" And I was trying to do everything I could to squirm out of it and get out of it, and said, "No, babe, I need to stick to football." But no, she wouldn't let me get out of it that easy because when we were dating as teenagers, we always said that we wanted to do some type of business together, to create a business and work a business together. And she remembered that. Out of all of these years, she remembered that. And she wasn't going to let me slide. And so she held me to it. And we ended up working extremely hard while I was still actively playing too, ladies, during the off seasons. I didn't take
Oh,
vacations. I didn't detox. As soon as the season was over with, I went straight to work, learning the business, getting an understanding of the business. I didn't hire a lot of people to just do the work for me. I actually did the work, did all the digging, all the studying, all the researching, all the traveling to learn the business inside and out. And then once I did finally retire, well, a year before I retired, we had started the business. We had got some customers, and we were rocking and rolling. We were rocking and rolling while, my last year of the NFL, I had the business up and running. And so that's really how we got started. Wasn't something that I intentionally did. It wasn't anything that I intentionally wanted to do. But now that we do have this food company, I'm extremely grateful to the good Lord that my wife really pressed me and made sure, that we took our family products, our family recipes, so we can create a legacy behind for generation and generation.
So when we're talking about the family recipe, you started with the salsa first. Is that how
Yes,
it worked?
that's
So
how it
that
works.
that was a family recipe.
Absolutely. Well, honestly, we have about 50 plus recipes that's within the pipeline. But we started with the actual honey apple salsa because we knew that product, we felt like that product would create such a buzz. There was nothing like that on the market at the time. You had just your basic salsas. Remember, we started this business. We first hit the market in 2011. I had been working on that business since I think 2000, the idea since maybe 2009 or something like that, 2008. And so at that time, you really didn't have too many specialty salsas. Most of them are just basic tomato-based salsas. So we wanted to really felt like, okay, well, this is a great recipe. It's a great family recipe. Everybody who eats it, they like it. And there's nothing like this on the market based on our research. And so we felt like this would be a great opportunity to try to put something on the market that represented our family, that's tasty. And it did just that. Now, before we actually hit the market, we also, had the opportunity to send our products to some focus groups as well, just to validate what we were thinking, right? And so we shipped the salsa to some focus groups. They looked at the packaging, the labeling, the graphics artwork, the nutritional panel, ingredient list, and then the actual product itself, and then the applications that we could use those salsas on. And they gave us a thumbs up. I think we got 100 in each category.
mm,
So we knew it would be a hit. But as in anything, you want to make sure. Because sometimes, as entrepreneurs, we can be biased in regards to our own products. So you need to get some, for us, we said, well, let's just make sure that we're on the right track because we wanted some honest criticism from some people, from some people who didn't have any skin in the game, right? We wanted them to see the product, feel the product, experience the product. And when they gave us 100 in every category, oh, we knew that we was on to something. And these were supposed to be the top of the top, people who really understood the food industry. And so from that point on, ladies, we got to rocking and rolling, and the rest is history.
Because we have to say that is some of the best salsa that we ever had.
it is. I've tasted salsa before with mango, mangoes in it, but I've never tasted a salsa with like apples, honey
Mm.
apple. Like I was like, okay, you
Well,
had me sold. You had me sold.
Yeah. It was like
Like,
immediately. I was like, yeah, this is like even when you go to Mexican restaurants, their salsa, I'm
mhm.
like, no. I would
No.
have to bottle that, bring it there, and then eat.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really good. But let's go on to the recipes because you have honey apple butter, you have barbecue sauces,
Mhm.
salad dressings, and then you have the seasonings with the fish and the chicken. I didn't try that yet.
Yes.
Me neither.
So we would like to call ourselves a one-stop shop in regards to chef stable sauces and seasonings. If you can imagine it, we could bring it to your table. That's what that's our goal. And our thing is this, we want to be different. In this industry, you definitely have to stand out. You have to do something that's going to stand out because if you don't, you're going to blend in with everybody else and you're not going to be effective. I've had countless of category managers and executives that we presented our products to, whether if it's Walmart, Kroger, Target, Macy's. They all say the same thing. Whenever you're trying to present like a salsa or a barbecue sauces, they call those products a Me Too product, right? And basically, I'm not sure. Do you ladies know what that means? A Me Too product? You know what Me
No.
means? Yeah, I didn't know either. And so basically, what they said is, if I go to a buyer and say, "Hey, I have a barbecue sauce," then that buyer is going to say, "Well, somebody else said they had one too. Me too. I got one. Me too. I got one. Me too.
Mm.
I have a barbecue sauce." So basically, what they're saying is everybody has a barbecue sauce. If you go down the line, everybody has some type of seasoning. Everybody has some type of salsa recipe. Me too. I got one too. And so, but the thing that you come to find out that in this industry though is whenever you do have a barbecue sauce, if you can have one that has such great quality, such great flavor, but also the ingredient list is different from what a buyer has ever seen, then they will give you a shot because it's not just a Me Too product, it's a different product than what they already have on their actual shelf. So for instance, if you go to and see a Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, you're going to see a Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. It's a sweet barbecue sauce. Well, how many other sweet barbecue sauce do you see on shelves? Every barbecue sauce is probably a sweet barbecue sauce on the shelves, but yet you never see a sweet potato barbecue sauce on the shelves. And so
Mhm.
when I say, hey, I have a barbecue sauce, first thing they say, okay, here we go, another Me Too product. I said, well, wait a minute. All right. Do you have any products that is infused with sweet potatoes and honey and also a touch of smoke with brown sugar and molasses as well? That's great on your ribs, great on your chicken, and you can even use it on steamed vegetables. Oh, now let's talk a little bit more about this particular product. We don't have anything on the market like that. So, ladies, therefore, when you see on our product line, you'll see a honey apple salsa or a honey apple butter that doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it, just natural ingredients. Most buyers, most category managers, most buyers are going to give you an opportunity, or they've given us an opportunity because they don't have anything else like that on the market on their particular category and they want to be the first, right?
Mhm.
And one of the buyers told me that with Walmart, Sweet Baby Ray's is a phenomenon, right? It's a hit. Everybody
Mhm.
Baby Ray's.
Mhm.
And I had a meeting with the barbecue buyer at Walmart, and she told me, she said, yeah, we were the first ones to bring Sweet Baby Ray's, on our shelves. We got them started. We started them here, we started them there. Now look at them, they're great. Every buyer wants to be the first. Everybody wants to be the one to say, hey, I got Kyvan Foods going now. It's a multi-million dollar, multi-billion dollar brand. I was the one who gave them a shot. So you got to understand, buyers are very competitive too, right? They want to say that they were the ones who found the next big thing. And so in order for them to do that, they're always looking for something unique, something different, something that they can tag their name to and say, hey, I got this company started. And by doing that, it help validates them for other opportunities as well. And so it's not just about your product, also, it's also about making the buyers look good as well, because hey, they have a job, they have a career, and they want to make sure that they don't miss on great products as well.
That's awesome. And thank you for making me hungry.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I'm like the fish fry, the chicken. I gotta try that. Because
And
I don't
thank
have to worry about it. It's already
I
done.
know. And thank you, Mrs. Kelly, too, as well, for pushing your husband to do this
Thank
great
God.
brand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I'm
I'm,
telling you.
I'm 6'5", right? And my wife is like 5'2". And so quite naturally, everybody think, oh man, wow, she's intimidated by him. But my wife is a firecracker. She doesn't play. And everybody who knows her knows that, she means business. She's as sweet as she want to be, but she does a great job of pushing and bringing out the very best in me. She did that when I was an athlete, when we was in high school. And I just love that about it. And everybody who meets her just love the fire that she has, the drive that she has. And so I'm extremely blessed to have her on my side, by my side. And so, yeah, she's a good woman. So yeah, I definitely, I've heard that many a times, people compliment my better half.
Oh, that's good. We love
That's
to hear that.
awesome. What are some challenges that you have faced so far being in the food industry, especially with when it comes to representation?
Yeah, I think that first of all, representation is key for us. It is key for our culture. For me, it's very important to enter any type of industry and excel in it. Not just for my sake, right? It's important, and my wife and I spoke about this, and again, I constantly talk to kids about this. For me, it's important for me to lead the way, to be a trailblazer, not just to fit in, but to stand out. And when I do that, and when I succeed at that, uh, I'm not just talking about doing something and just doing it okay. When I do something, I want to do it extremely well. I want to succeed at it. I want to do it with excellence. I want to be great at it, not for the sake of pride, but I know when I do that, it'll encourage somebody else, the next generation, to shoot for that as well. And it's imperative that I take every gift that I have, every talent that I have, and make sure I fulfill it by being the very best of myself. I often tell people, and of course you ladies have heard this as well, your talents is God's gift to you. How you use it, that's your gift back to God. And so he's given me the gifts, he's given me the talents, he's given me the opportunities, he's opened doors for me. I have to walk in those doors like he sent me. I have to walk in those doors and kick them down and take the gifts that he's given me, the partnership that he's given me. He's done his part. Now I got to do my part through hard work, through dedication, through being consistent, so that I can represent our culture the right way. So that kids who may not think they have an opportunity to excel in the food industry or being entrepreneurs, they have an example through other people, but they have an example through me. And when we see people succeeding who look like us, we get more confident, right? That we can do it too. And if I do that, and if I do it extremely well, I will influence the next generation and encourage them just by my actions that they can do it. So it's very important for me to represent the culture the way that I'm supposed to represent it, even if it gets hard. And ladies, it is hard, but because it is hard, that ignites me, and I'm always up for a challenge. Problems are the common thread running through the lives of all great men and women. But the one thing about great men and women, they don't run from problems, they solve them. And when you are placed in front of a situation that's a challenge, it should ignite you to overcome that challenge and to succeed. So in the food industry, there are many challenges. I would say marketing is one challenge. Another challenge is when you're in an industry that we may not be the majority, we're the minority, then we have to work almost 10 times as hard to get sometimes the same respect. But I'm willing to do that, not just for me, but for the next generation. It's important. I have to get out of my feelings, not feel sorry for myself, and realize, not number one, whose I am. And when I realize whose I am, God has given me the gift to represent them to the fullest so I can help the next generation. And that's very important to me. One thing that's been extremely difficult, and it's not just because I'm a minority owner. It's not just because I am a represent as far as like a minority owned company with Kyvan Foods. I have an issue, not an issue, but it's extremely tough, ladies, in regards to marketing your brand. That's been one of the hardest things for me and for my company, especially when you're competing with so many other brands that's been in the market for years, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 plus years. They've been doing it extremely well, right? They have the resources, they have the financial backing, they have the funding, they have the experience, and yet I'm still trying to get some of those market shares as well, and that gets pretty hard. It gets pretty tough. It's a pretty daunting task. But we figured out a way to, number one, focus on our demographics. Not just trying to market to everybody, because if you try to market to everybody, you're going to waste some of that funding to the point where you're marketing to people that's not going to support you anyway. So we focus on a certain demographic of people, and we saturate that demographic of people so that we can get a really great ROI, return on our investment, and then that equals great customer acquisitions. And we stick to that plan and stick to that plan. And that plan has been very beneficial for us, though it is extremely hard. Because, ladies, in order for any company, especially a food brand, to succeed, you're going to have to spend marketing dollars. And the part that's extremely tough is finding the marketing strategy that works for you without exacerbating your budget to the point where you're still not reaching the right demographic that you need to reach, and you're not getting the sales that you need to get. And so that is the tricky part. But once you learn the best fit for your company and the best model of marketing, then that's when your business will help take off and get those sales that you really want to get. So the marketing piece has been extremely hard, it's been extremely difficult. But I'm up for the challenge because, again, I want to represent my culture the best way I can to be a success, to excel at what I'm doing, and hopefully to open up some doors for the next generation through encouragement, but also through great mentorship as well, ladies.
Well, just for your brand alone, because we had heard great things about you from the creator of Julo Shop, Mrs. Wright. She talked only great things about you and your family, and the fact that you are pretty much representing the culture. You're also giving a family brand so people can see that and spotlight, just even in the name itself. So that's wonderful. So you just already blessed me by hearing some of the stuff that you were talking about marketing and challenges like that and visibility. Because again, we want to make sure that we help each other at the same time and form a village. So thank you again for sharing those nuggets of wisdom. And I pray that anybody that watches this, they will gain some knowledge from just what you just spoke on. So
Well, I definitely appreciate that. And at the end of the day, it is important for us to give back to the next generation. And that's one thing that excites me. My wife and I, we get an opportunity at this stage of our life to really influence and impact a lot of young entrepreneurs, a lot of startups, and some of the mishaps that we didn't quite take advantage of, especially the marketing piece. I mentioned that a lot because we did spend a lot of money on marketing and we targeted the wrong demographics. And instead of our funding and our budget benefiting us, it kind of hurt us and put us in a little bit of strain because we were just thinking it was just important to market and send dollars here and there towards everybody. And we didn't get the right return on those investments. So I really, tell young companies, be very strategic about your marketing. You don't have to fit somebody else's blueprint. You have a specific blueprint that will work for your company. And a lot of times, because we got social media, you can do email blasts, you can do collaborations, you can do so many different things that's not going to cost a lot of money, but yet still very effective in marketing. And you have to take advantage of these free platforms. Whatever you have to do, take advantage of those and create the right content. And if you can save a dollar, save a dollar. Don't just spend just to spend. Don't just spend just to say you're spending on marketing, just to sound good, just to sound like you're a big shot. No, do your homework, be strategic, be extremely detailed. And I've learned this from some people who've been extremely successful in business. If they can find a way not to spend, they're not going to spend. If they can find a way to do a little bit less expensive, they're going to do it because they understand the importance of having the right margins and keeping those margins to keep their business thriving.
So this is our elevator pitch question here. So if you could describe Kyvan in 3 words,
Yeah.
what 3 words would you use to describe it and why?
Appreciate the goodness. Those are the 3 words that I would use. Now, normally when I tell people that our motto is appreciate the goodness, they normally immediately think about, well, you must be talking about the actual flavor profile and the taste of the product. But when you're talking about appreciate the goodness, we have so much to offer from a Kyvan food standpoint, not just from the standpoint of our food products, but we try to do good in the community, right? We try to give back. That is a good thing. We try to help other entrepreneurs become successful. That is a good thing. We operate out of integrity here. I've lost a lot of deals because I would not lower my standards. And my mother taught me a long time ago that the standards are the standards and the standards are not to be shifted. And she always told me, that there will always be someone who doesn't see your worth. There would always be someone who doesn't see your value, but never let that someone be you. Have some value, have some standards, know your worth, and do not go beneath that worth. And so there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of times, ladies, that I've lost deals because the standards, I will not lower my standard just to make a dollar. It's important to me. My name means everything to me. My character means everything to me, and integrity does as well. And so when you put all those things together, that equals good. So what we're going to display here is good customer service, integrity, character, hard work, detail, earning your business the right way. And by doing that, that's why we said once you get to experience Kyvan Foods, the totality of Kyvan Foods, from the owners to the workers to the food products to the experience, then you understand why we tell you, you will appreciate the goodness.
It's good too. I can't wait to try the rest of the stuff.
It
It
is.
really is.
And for anyone that's watching this, how can they follow you or be able to even purchase your products? Because again, you need to purchase them. So whoever's watching this, to make sure you get that salsa. Oh my goodness.
Try the fish fry and the chicken fry and the butter, apple butter,
You
and the
know,
barbecue. There's a lot to choose from.
there's a lot to choose from. I'm gonna be trying out that fish fry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that out next.
I would just say this: here at Kyvan Foods, we specialize in innovative, in most cases, never before seen food products. And the kicker is most of our products only use clean, natural ingredients. And so we thrive to service our customers with that type of integrity. And I would definitely appreciate, you guys' support. You can always check out our website at kyvan82.com, Kyvan 82.com. So you can sign up for our newsletters. You can get free products. You can get percentage off products, and it lists all of our locations and all of our customers. But if you want to get social with us, check us out on Instagram at Kyvan82.com. I always said now, I was number 82 on the football field, but number 1 in your hearts. Reggie Kelly, ladies and gentlemen.
We love you. We love it. That's why we love doing interviews like this, because you get personal. We get to meet the face behind the brand, and it means so much. So thank you for taking your time out for letting us interview you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. And tell your wife thank you too as well for all the hard work she's been doing. Because we know she was behind the scenes, tell her thank you. You appreciate it.
No problem, ladies. Well, I definitely appreciate it. And I wish you guys continued success. Pray the good Lord continue to bless everything you guys put your hands to. And until the next time, y'all make sure y'all holler at your boy.
All right. So everybody that's watching, I have all the information listed below so you can follow Kyvan. You have to try out the products. You have to try it out. So make sure you please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again, Mr. Kelly. We appreciate it.